It's always fun to create new and interesting stuff with Lego. Houses, vehicles, play scenes, you really can let your imagination run wild. But how about we take things to the next level? How about, instead of just creating a house, I create an underground world too, a survival camp, somewhere for your minifigures to escape to if there was ever a disastrous apocalypse. Well, that's exactly what I'm going to do. So let's dive on in and figure out exactly what we need to build in order to keep our minifigures safe and alive when the world comes to an end. First off, I have the ground level street. It consists of just a plain old Lego house that I built from scratch, as well as a few extra bits and pieces. Nothing special here, and certainly nothing out of the ordinary. That is, until you notice the large 40 brick deep by 100 studs wide block that it is sitting on top of. It is in this underground section where we will be building the all-important top-secret survival camp. I'll start off by creating a small, hidden entrance that blends in with the rest of the surface-level bricks. It's only a small hatch, but it's enough to allow your minifigures to climb down into their subterranean world. And the first room that I'm going to be constructing is a storage room full of shelves filled with all kinds of foods and drinks. After all, if you're stuck in a shelter for the rest of your life, you're probably going to need something to eat and drink. There are also essential medical supplies in there too. The next room is another pretty essential one if you want to get some rest and relaxation. A bedroom. I created a spacious room complete with a double bed so your minifigures really can relax in comfort and style. There are also some pretty cool furnishings like nightstands, lamps, and even a scenic photograph on the wall to remind everyone of the world that used to be before the apocalypse struck and you were forced down into your survival camp. Of course, if you have a nice spacious bedroom, it's always nice to have an ensuite bathroom too. So that's what I built. The bathroom has a toilet and a large walk-in shower with plenty of room to get soapy and clean. But this bathroom is more than just somewhere to go when you want to get clean or relieve yourself. It also doubles as a walk-in wardrobe where there are all kinds of different outfits hung up, so your minifigures can weather out the apocalypse in style. But I'm not going to stop there. This first underground level still has plenty of room for expansion, so for the next section, I decided to build an indoor gardening room. This will allow the minifigures to grow their own food, so they have fresh things to eat. I started off by building planters that can be tended to. But when the time comes, there's plenty of room to attach plants that can grow and help make the apocalypse that little bit more bearable. It was also important to color this room, so it felt like I really was outside. Just because you're underground doesn't mean you can't enjoy the blue skies and sunshine. But there's one last essential room that I need to build, and that's the armory. After all, in the event of an apocalypse, you're probably going to have people trying to break into your shelter. That or zombies. Either way, my minifigures are going to need to have a way of protecting themselves, and that's where this room comes in handy. Stocked with weapons of all shapes and sizes, you can be sure that there's plenty to keep you safe when those outsiders or zombies come knocking. So that's it for the essential rooms, but what is there for your minifigures to do down there for fun? Well, nothing yet. So let's start putting in some entertainment to keep everyone occupied while the apocalypse is going on outside. Let's start with something that all good survival camps need. A movie theater. Okay, maybe they don't need it, but still, your minifigures are going to need somewhere to go to watch movies. I made sure to build some comfortable seats that recline so the minifigures really can watch the latest blockbusters in comfort. There's ever a giant flat screen made from 2x4 flat pieces and a popcorn machine. So what else do I need to include for my minifigure apocalypse survival camp? Well, I'm going to move down onto the second level, down to construct a gym. Because your minifigures are going to need something to do to keep physically fit. So I build 2 climbing walls, complete with colorful rocks to hang on to, as well as a treadmill and a weightlifting station. What more could you want in a survival camp? Also, this is by far the biggest room so far, and certainly one that any apocalypse person would live. But when your minifigures are done working out and getting themselves into a sweat, I decided to add a hot tub room. This has a nice-sized tub full of water made from studs, as well as plenty of palm trees and tropical plants around to really give it that warm and relaxed vibe. I know exactly what my minifigures need, and I made sure that there was plenty of was for them to relax after a hard and strenuous workout. This hot tub room was the perfect solution. Up next, I'm going to put together a games room. And because this one contains so many different arcade games, it's going to be a pretty expansive room. There are driving simulators, first-person shooters, and even a dancing game to help get the blood pumping. And just because I can, I'm also going to put in a 10-pin bowling alley in there too, to add an extra bit of fun and entertainment to this arcade games room. The next room I'm going to make to help my minifigures get through this apocalypse is a kitchen, because they're going to need somewhere to cook. So that's exactly what I did. This large kitchen has food storage in there, as well as a fridge, a stove, and even a blender. But the best part about this room is that it comes with an AI robot that prepares meals for you. No complaining, no burned or undercooked food, just perfection, every time. I was thinking about what I could include next, and I thought that if you are stuck in your survival shelter for who knows how long, possibly forever, then you're probably going to want something to read. So I decided to treat my minifigures to their own large library with a massive collection of books. Of course, libraries need to be relaxing, so what better to include in that room than a large aquarium too? That way, my minifigures can read their books in peace while watching the various sea life creatures swimming around in peace. I'm thinking that this LEGO survival camp needs something a little extra, and what could be more extra than a full-size basketball court for the minifigures to shoot some hoops on? This is a huge room with 2 basketball nets at either side, as well as a massive scoreboard and even a rack to keep all of the balls neatly tidied away. It's got a super high roof too to make sure that the balls aren't going to hit it when they're being thrown around. The only problem is you're going to need a few extra people down there in the survival camp to play with. Next to that, we're naturally going to have a skate park, because it's just fun. There is a half pipe, and even 2 large LEGO ramps at either side of the room to ride up and down and master some awesome tricks. But you don't just have to skate. You can stick your minifigures on a bike or even skates to help them navigate around this fun and obstacle-filled room. You just have to be careful if you want to avoid any broken bricks. So, that's physical stimulation covered. What about if you want to rock out and make some music? Well, there's no better way to do that than for me to construct a recording studio for my minifigures. Because that's what all good survival camps need, right? In the studio, there is room for a piano, a drum kit, and all kinds of guitars. So if the minifigures ever make it out of the shelter, then they'll be ready to go on tour. But there is one final and very important room that needs constructing. And it is by far the biggest of the entire LEGO build. It is a large indoor swimming pool. But it's not just any indoor swimming pool. It's an Olympic-sized pool, complete with diving board and an awesome slide, so you have the option of working out and lane swimming or having fun and splashing around. Of course, as I always say, safety first. That's why I included a life jacket rack that can be used in case of any emergencies. And there you have it. That's every room that my LEGO minifigures could ever need if they wanted to survive an apocalypse. I think I did a pretty good job, and I'm sure my minifigures aren't going to mind being cooped up in there while the world is coming to an end above them. So, as you can see, this survival camp will not only keep the minifigures alive, but it will also keep them entertained and thriving. In fact, apocalypse or not, this kind of seems like a place I'd want to stay anyway. Thankfully, this LEGO bunker will keep away the outside world and let my minifigures have a happily ever after in style. So now it's over to you. Which of these top secret LEGO survival rooms was your favorite? And what would you include in your own LEGO survival camp build? Leave your thoughts and opinions in the comments section down below. Please give this video a like and a subscribe. And as always, thanks for watching.